Want to know how to burn fat for 2,000 hours straight? I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that in this video. This is Julian with Jack Vegans. First, I'm going to start by telling you what not to do, what's not required to burn fat. So to burn fat, you don't need to do a detox diet, you don't need to do Weight Watchers, you don't need to do Beachbody, South Beach diet, you don't need to do juices or cleanses, you don't need to do keto, you don't need to do intermittent fasting. All of that is unnecessary, okay? There is only one thing that you need to do to burn fat. That is, put yourself in a calorie deficit. That's the only thing that you need to do in order to burn fat and to lose weight. The reason we want to be in a calorie deficit is because it is the only way to lose weight. Literally, you gotta eat fewer calories than the ones you burn in order to lose weight. Why? Because if this is the amount of energy that you use and this is the amount of energy that you consume, your body has to make up for the lack of energy. And in that specific case, your body will use tissue for energy. Hence, you start losing weight and losing fat. If you do things properly, then the tissue is gonna be fat. And that is exactly what we want, to burn fat. So why do I say 2,000 hours? A fat loss phase should last around 10 to 12 weeks. 12 weeks is exactly 2,000 hours. Now, why do I say 12 weeks? So losing fat requires you to be very focused and very strict with your diet, which is tough. It is hard, both psychologically and physically, because you're literally restricting the amount of food that you're eating on a daily basis. If you go for longer than 12 weeks, it's gonna become really hard, it's gonna become counterproductive, and the chances of you falling off, failing, regaining all the weight that you lost are very, very high. That means that if you have a lot of weight to lose, over 50 pounds, you're gonna have to take a little bit longer. You're gonna have to divide your fat loss into different phases. You're gonna do 12 weeks, then you will take a break, and then you can do another 12 weeks. Ideally, you wanna lose between 5 and 10% of your total body weight per fat loss phase. So let's start with how to lose fat for 12 weeks or 2,000 hours straight. The first thing that you need to do is calculate your maintenance calories. That is how many calories you need to sustain your current body weight. The easiest way to do that is to Google Harris-Benedict equation and to plug in your numbers. I also dropped a link to a calculator that's in my website that you can use for free to calculate your calories. Then, after you know your maintenance calories, you're going to subtract 500 calories from that number, okay? So let's say that your maintenance calories was 3,000 calories a day. You're gonna take off 500 calories. That means that you're gonna be eating 2,500 calories every single day. Why do we subtract 500 calories? Because the goal is to lose around 1 pound per week. 1 pound of fat has around 3,500 calories. So we're gonna create a deficit of 500 calories every single day to reach the 3,500 calorie deficit per week. So once you know your calories, you need to figure out how much protein, how many carbohydrates, and how much fat. And this is very simple, okay? The most important macronutrient in this case is protein. Now, the protein intake depends on your goals. If you are here, I'm going to assume that you want to improve your body composition. That means that you want to increase the amount of muscle mass that you have and decrease the amount of body fat that you have. For this specific goal, the recommended amount of protein is somewhere in between 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. That means if you weigh 200 pounds, you're going to be eating between 160 grams of protein per day to 200 grams of protein per day. The next step is to subtract the calories from the protein from your total calories, which you know from the first 2 steps, and figure out what's left for your carbohydrates and your fats. The easiest way to do that is to multiply your protein times 4, because each gram of protein has 4 calories, and then you subtract it from the total calories that you're going to be ingesting on a daily basis. Now, once you know your protein, what to do with the carbohydrates and the fats. So for the carbs and the fats, it's very simple. You're pretty much gonna do whatever you want. Okay, you're gonna do whatever you want as long as you're staying within the recommended calories. Obviously, what's recommended here is that you focus on getting most of your carbs and most of your fats from whole food sources. So fruits, vegetables, some grains, and for the fats, you can do avocados, nuts, olive oil, etc., etc. So that pretty much sums up how to calculate your calories for fat loss. Now, what else do you need to be doing to make sure that you get the best results? Aside from being in a calorie deficit, you also want to be active. And the easiest way to stay active is just to walk. It's very simple. All you gotta do is go for walks every day. How much walking do you need to be doing? It's between 10,000 and 15,000 steps every single day. And in the description, I've dropped a video about why I prefer walking instead of running for getting lean, for getting shredded, and for losing body fat. So if you want to check that out, it's in the description or it's somewhere in the screen. So now we got the calories, the protein, your activity level. What else do you need to be doing? Obviously, you're here to improve your body composition. We already know that. And in order for that to happen, you gotta work out. You gotta do resistance training. That means either lifting weights or do some sort of routine at home. Now, I'm not gonna tell you the specifics of what routine you need to be doing because it's very individual, it's very personalized depending on what you wanna accomplish on your level, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced. So just pick a routine that you trust and follow that routine for a long period of time. I dropped a link to my specific routine, the one I'm following, in the description if you wanna check that out. Now, do not copy my routine because I have very specific goals. I've been lifting for over 6 years, so you can just click on it to check out what I'm doing. So after you know all of this, what's next? Now, the initial calories that you calculated are not gonna work for the full fat loss phase. At some point, you will need to make an adjustment. So at some point, you will see a stall in your weight loss. You will stop losing weight. So if that happens, you gotta keep on subtracting calories. In that case, you want to subtract between 200 and 300 calories from your diet and keep following the same process. After you reach the 12 weeks, you will take a break. You will not diet for longer than 12 weeks because it becomes counterproductive. And the longer you are in a calorie deficit, the higher the chances of you getting really tired and saying, screw this diet and go binge or go install some bad eating habits in your life. So after 12 weeks, you take a break, you raise your calories back up to maintenance, and then once you feel ready to go again, you can do another fat loss phase. The maintenance phase that I'm talking about should be around the same length or at least half of the length of your fat loss phase. So if you dieted for 12 weeks, that means that your maintenance phase will be between 6 and 12 weeks long. Lastly, you gotta understand something. Weight loss is not linear. So when you embark on a fat loss phase, you will reach a point where your weight will not drop as fast as you want it to drop. And when that happens, you gotta be patient because literally you'll see a weight drop, then you might see a spike, then you'll see another weight drop, then a couple of spikes, and then that will keep on happening for the duration of the phase. And remember, you gotta pay attention to the average, not to individual daily weigh-ins. So do not get frustrated, be patient, stick to your calories, and you will see results. What happens is that most people, when they see the first spike, they say this diet is not working and they try to do something drastic like a detox or intermittent fasting or something that doesn't make any sense. They end up getting tired of the diet and then they end up quitting. And then the cycle just repeats itself over and over again over years and they don't make any progress. Instead, be patient, stick to the process and reap the rewards. Another thing you can do to track your progress is take pictures. So take pictures when you first start your diet and then every 3 to 4 weeks you take new pictures and then you compare them side to side. This will help with motivation because if you don't see your weight drop but you see side to side pictures and you see a huge difference, then that means the diet is working. I know this might sound like a lot, but it is what it takes to achieve the body that you want to achieve. So if you're a little bit like confused right now and overwhelmed, just go back, rewind the video, watch it again. Make sure you pay attention to every single detail that I talk about here. And if you don't want to do this on your own, then I can help you out. There's a link in the description that tells you more about working one-on-one with me and my team. It's very simple. It's going to take you to an application. You fill that out, it takes 3 minutes, and then you can book a free consultation call with us. We'll get on the phone, we'll go over your goals, your struggles, and figure out if and how we can help you. Okay, completely free, no pressure. You can click on the link and check it out. That is it for this video. I hope you learned something new, and I'll see you next time. Julian here, signing off. Boom.